Yo, what is up, guys? It is now patch 14.9, so you know what time it is. We're gonna go over it. So, it looks like this is a pretty gigantic patch in terms of how many changes there are, but I don't know if anything is actually going to be, changed too heavily. So, in general, it looks like there's a lot more nerfs than buffs, a couple of champs getting some small adjustments, and the bruiser items, a lot of them are getting changed, so let's get right into it. Um, Vanguard is now active. Apparently, it's like the anti-cheat. That's cool, I guess. Don't know what that is. Oh yeah, so I also noticed on the patch notes page, they changed the order of a few things. Like the champs come first. It's randomly showing like this ASU thing, which is cool, I guess. So yeah, Lee Sin got an ASU, and basically that means like none of his gameplay has changed, but how the champ looks will be different. All his animations will be different, but pretty much exact same kit. Nothing gameplay wise has changed at all. So also this patch I think marks the beginning of the end of split 1. So this is the last patch you can climb to reach your split 1 goals. Um And it seems like starting next patch, like right away the next day itself, they're gonna start the new one. Um, yeah, I hope you guys grind a lot this patch. It's it's gonna be rough because I'm sure like everyone is gonna be playing a lot right now because you see that it's the end is coming up. Good luck in your games, and yeah, I pretty much already I went for my goal. I wanted to try to get masters. Um, I got to like D2 with some LP and then it fell down to D4 and yeah, we've all been there and I just gave up a little bit. All right, let's continue. So it looks like Arena is coming back to 2v2 game mode. It's like 2v2 v2 v2. Yeah, it looks like they've made it so more people can play at once. That's fun. I never play these game modes much. I did try this one a little bit. It was kind of fun, honestly, but it seemed a little too RNG, and I didn't really understand what was going on a lot of times. So these are just balance changes for that. I'm not really going to go over it. You guys can read it yourself if you want to. Um, yeah, so let's see. So looking into the items, these are the bruiser item changes. I'm not really sure where they're going with a lot of these. So it looks like Hex Drinker is getting slightly changed where it has a tiny bit less magic resist, and the build path is slightly different. And let's see how that affects the completed items. So Ma price is going up 300. That's big nerf so far. It is getting 15 haste. So if I remember correctly, it did used to have haste, and it will get that again. Um, the MR is going down by 10, which is a little bit of a nerf too. The AD is going up by 5, and then the amount of time you have the shield lasts 0.5 seconds more, which is really nice, I think. And yeah, so I don't know if a lot of people knew this. Right when you get the magic damage shield, you also get some lifesteal, but now that is changed to 10% omnivamp. Um, Overall, I guess it's kind of getting reverted to how it used to be, which is it's okay, I guess. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they mostly this changes to make this omnivamp and then give it haste again, so it's more comfortable for bruisers to have in their build without them sacrificing some AD and haste and all. But it does lose a bit of its tankiness. So decent change. That stance is getting pretty much like, oh, just seems like a slight buff. It doesn't look like the price is going up, but the AD is going up by 5. And then the healing you get, so whenever you get a takedown, you get 50% of your bonus AD healed to your HP. And then now it's getting to 75%. This used to be something like crazy. Like this used to be like 150% or something like absurd, but slowly been nerfed, and now they're slowly buffing it back, I think. which is good because I don't see this item much, but it will be hard to play against. Sterax, this item is so broken on every like meta jungler. Like it makes like champs that you don't think would be like really tanky, like insanely tanky, like Vi, Xin Zhao, Volibear. Like okay, I guess he is kind of tanky, but yeah, it makes them so. It takes so much more time to kill them, but thankfully it's getting a small nerf. It seems like so. Price is going up 200. Cooldown that the shield procs is every 90 seconds now, so it won't be up like they can't force literally a fight off cooldown late game and have this up, which I think it's a good change. Sundered Sky, this is another like staple bruiser item this season, I would say. And let's see what they're changing. It seems like a small nerf to the cooldown, how often you can proc it on each target. And the healing is getting nerfed too. So this is getting hit with a nerf. This item is built on like everybody as well. Like yeah, I think a nerf is great. I think a nerf is great for that. Eclipse also like staple bruiser item. Like a lot of these items, like they're all built like these three Sterax, Sundered, Eclipse, built like every game on like Xin and Vi and some other champs. Like I swear they don't have any in their build. They just go these three items, take Ingenious Hunter and just 1v9. But yeah, it seems like they're all getting hit with some nerfs here. Eclipse is getting 2% damage nerf for melee. And all the champs I mentioned were also melee, so it's honestly some good changes because they are very difficult to play into. And like I don't know if it's just me, like this is like giving like too much safety to like bruisers. Like they're supposed to bruise and fight for a long time until they die, but like they're fighting for way too long. Like I don't like having to think about buying I don't even want to think about buying Serpent's Fang. Because there's like 2 Sterax and 2 Eclipses on the enemy team. Like that just seems ill to me. Like really? I actually have to buy like an anti-shield item. Because they're buying like items. Nah, that's crazy. Akshan, this is one of the champs I saw was getting like changed. So I don't think it's going to be like a nerf or a buff. But let's see what they're doing. His Q, like the boomerang, is getting move speed nerf, and the damage is getting nerfed as well to minions. Let's see what they're compensating that for. So his R, his ult where you like can charge it for a bit and shoot it, getting a very decent damage buff. Wow, this is a very decent damage buff. That's insanely good. So he will be doing a lot more damage. I feel like his ult is kind of lackluster, honestly. Gets blocked by anything, like even towers. Like you can stand behind a tower and it won't hit. So I hope it's good. I hope it's good for him. I don't see it much. bel'veth, this champ is so hard to balance, I feel. Since she came out, they nerf her, change her, buff her, nerf her. Like more nerfs than anything, I guess. But let's see. So it looks like a slight nerf to her passive. Instead of scaling up to 1% attack speed per passive stack at level 13, that 1% hits at level 17. So it does take longer to get that extra attack speed from your passive. Her Q is getting a small nerf, but also an interesting like buff. So let's see. So I think yeah, so early game her clear will be better, it seems. So yeah, I was trying to do some math, but thankfully I don't have to because they just put it right here. Until you have 136 total AD, your Q will deal bonus damage to camps. I think this is decent for early game because I feel like she is kind of like an early game, really good at fighting early game, but sometimes if you can't always like get that fighting, it's might be better off just farming or invading and taking camps. So this will be very nice for that. Yeah, so hopefully it makes her a little bit worse, but better in the right ways, right direction maybe. Kennen, champion. Like, when was the last time you guys played into kennen? Like, actually think about it. When was the last time this champ flash ulted into your like team and you're like, wow, well, that's kennen for you. Like, never, guys. I haven't seen him do that in like 3 years. So let's see what they're changing. So he was one of the ones getting adjusted to, I believe. It seems like his E gets a indicator how far you can go for it. Interesting. And then his R can now cast. Wait, can now cast his ultimate while moving. Oh, okay. So I think I know what this means. So usually, like, right when you click R, it does make him stop for some reason, which never really made sense to me. Like, for like a microsecond, he will like stop, but I think now there's not going to be that pause for the initial strike of his ult, and you can do it like seamlessly while like using your E or like proto belting or whatever. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think this is a great enough buff for him to be brought back or anything, but quality of life change, I would say. Like, this is like giving kind of a meaningful buff. I don't agree. Yeah. Nilah, let's see. So she's getting a kind of adjusted to, let's say her Q is dealing less damage overall. Seems like the AD ratio is going down. The attack speed is going up from her Q, and then the critical strike chance damage modifier. Oh, so based on crit chance, this will deal more damage. So, yeah, it seems a little bit more of a nerf than anything. So, I'm not too sure if this 10% attack speed will be enough to compensate these damage nerfs. So, we'll see. Sejuani. This champion is actually terrible, though. Like, it's probably one of the only tank junglers that I enjoy playing, but it's just too grief to be picking. Like, it's not enjoyable to like queue up in grief games, even if you enjoy the champ. So I am glad to see these buffs. It looks like her passive, where when you don't take damage, you have a little bit. Oh yeah, this is a different one. So her passive has a couple parts to it. So this will just increase her armor MR that you purchase. So you will have 75% increase to it instead of just 50%. And then it gives you base 10, which is nice too. So that's already a good enough buff, I think. So let's see. And I think if I read earlier, like her W was getting nerfed kind of, actually. Yeah, so her W, so the first hit has always dealt kind of low damage. Getting even lower early game, but scaling up. This is what you max first, by the way. The W ability. I do, at least. I do. So it's getting a percent of her max HP damage buff, but base is going down a little bit early game. Rank 1, actually. It's only rank 1, never mind. And then it scales up to being more. The second hit is what's taking, like, most of the nerfs, though. So it used to do 180 damage, base damage. The second part of her W. Now it does 85. That's less than half. And then 2%, but like these collective 4% of her max HP. That has to be a lot of like max HP for it to be out damaging this, I think. I'm not going to do the math, guys. I can, but I should have done it before the patch notes video, and I'm too lazy to do it now. So let's see. Oh, maximum damage. Yeah, so it does look like it's going down. Maximum damage going down by 80, and then like the 4%. I don't know how I feel about this. I hope like this max HP is enough to make this 4% buff is enough to outdo this base damage nerf. Like, she does build like only HP and tank, though. I don't think she's like amumu where you even get Leandry. Like, it is pure tank. This is a pure tank champion. I think there was a full AP version ever played for a while, but I'm not sure if that was great. So Yeah, well, hopefully she's good in the jung again, and I'd love to pick her up. Skarner, this champ is so annoying, guys. Like, I thought I was supportive of like his buffs before, but I take it all back. He is so annoying to play against. He's so tanky. He has too much CC in my opinion. Like, I think some champs, like, they have CC, right? Like they do. Like amumu has like 3 stuns if you think like you can get stunned by the same guy 3 times, but like that's kind of it. Like he will, I don't know, and there's a lot of counterplay to him. But this champ, it feels like he just rams you into a wall, ults you, slows you, like um, and does a lot of damage during all of it. I'm not a fan of it. It's just too much, I think. And shields himself. He's so tanky. Like yeah, I think the nerfs, they're nerfing his damage on his Q by a fair amount for the base, and then the W is getting nerfed as well, the slow, and then the shield. Yeah, I'm not sure. Mana regen's going up. I don't really care about that, but I'm not content with this. I would love to see some more nerfs for sure. This is not enough for me. Well, that's the end of the champion changes, I think. Wait, what? There's no way, right? There was definitely more. I don't know what this is. Oh, oh. Oh, so they're changing like a champion's like selection like hitbox, I guess. Like when you're shooting a skill shot sometimes like seemingly it's at the center of like a character, but it won't hit them. So maybe this will help like how point and click and skill shot abilities work on certain champs that are like bigger or smaller than they look. Yeah, it just seems like all it's getting adjusted for a lot of things. That's chill. Should be good. I'm sure they know what they're doing with that, I hope. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's more champion changes. Okay, so those were the big changes. These are the small champion changes. Okay. Okay, I did mention they reorganized this, but I didn't realize it's like this. Okay, that's interesting. I guess I kind of like that actually. It keeps it nice and organized. Let's see. So Ahri, her W is getting a small nerf. This champ is really good. Ultimate Hunter plus Malignance Rush. I feel like very hard to play against as the enemy jung. Like whenever I play against an Ahri who already has her ultimate hunter a couple of stacks and then buys the malignance, any fight she will have ult. And it's a very impactful one because it's 3 dashes to help her space out her abilities, get close to hit charms. Like it's very hard to play against. So I think they hit that. Not really though. This is a late game ult nerf, but it's more of the early game. Like I feel like her ult seems to be up anytime I'm trying to fight for anything, but it could just be placebo. As the Jung, it feels that way. I don't really know, but yeah, W, the point and click fire around her getting slightly nerfed, and then our cooldown is getting nerfed as well. Amumu is getting some nice buffs. Um, I think when he was played support a lot, they might have over nerfed him, which made him bad in the Jung, but yeah, it seems like he's getting a bit of base AD. It's going to help with the clear a lot. 4 base AD is a lot. Armor going up by 3 as well. That's going to be great for support as well. So these might make him like meta in the bot lane once again, but I would love to see him in the jungle again. I actually enjoy playing him in the jungle as well. Really easy, straightforward kit. Super like intuitive gameplay. I'm just like, I hate champs that I have to think too much on. It's like, especially I do like a bunch of homework all day. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna chill, play some league games. I'm not trying to just like min max this. Oh, I need to like flash insect kick this guy. Like, no, I'm just trying to chill, play some amumu. Good buffs. Love to see it. Aurelion Soul, Turbo Cancer Champion. E is getting nerfed by 20%. Kept it nice and short. Love to see that. Let's see. Blitzcrank. Okay, most underrated broken champ in the game. Actually, I don't know if it's that underrated. His ban rate is insanely high. It makes me wonder, like, why do they never nerf this guy? But it seems like they have finally come to their senses. His passive shield used to last 10 seconds. Apparently, 10 in league time, guys. 10 seconds in league time. Think about that. This guy has a shield for 10 seconds. It's a passive shield. It's not a big deal. It's usually just pops when he gets low. 10 is insane. Like, usually I wait out shields, like, before hitting champs. I'm just like, whatever, like, diving, whatever it may be. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to, like, waste my ability. I'm going to waste my damage and tank tower early. I'm going to let their shield go. Imagine trying to dive this guy and doing that and sitting under tower for 10 seconds. Like, a bit unreal. So that's getting a big nerf, which is amazing. And then his move speed is getting a nerf as well. Not enough. I think they should revert the buff from his Q where it gave 100 extra range from like 4 years ago. Really unhealthy change, I thought, but I'm not sure. His ban rate is insanely high, though. I don't know. Like, I get like champions being strong and like hard to play against, but then there's like stuff like this champion. It's just, I don't know. Like, I would say he is strong, but like it is terribly like unfun to play into this champ. Like, no matter if you do well into him or if you do bad into him, you have to live in fear the whole game, which I just hate because I don't know. Like, there are champs like that. Like, sure, like Nocturne. You're playing against Nocturne. You can't just go and push this side lane as an ADC by yourself, like, late game. You will get ulted by him. You will die. Like, this is like a support with like an insanely long range hook, super fast, same ability, no matter what your score is. And the thing I hate the most about it is it brings you all the way to him and his team. So it doesn't matter if he's like behind. He doesn't have to be tanky or anything. He will bring you all the way to his team, knock you up, silence you, same abilities no matter how good or bad you do. And it will be just as effective for just like one-shotting one guy if you have a couple of teammates around you. I guess like it might be hard to play from behind as this guy because they will ward, but okay, like, say you're going to clear their wards, like, they can't even contest you. You could just hook the person too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like emotional, having lost like a trillion games to him, but I can't stand him. I cannot stand him. I love these nerfs. I hope to see more. Maybe evil of me. Sorry, blitzcrank mains. Your champion is like so overtuned. All right, let's see. Evelynn getting nerfed. Not sure why. She does not need nerfs. She already got hit with nerfs recently. This is unnecessary. This is when you proc your W before this heart is formed, it just slows, but this is unnecessary nerf. R damage, 10% AP ratio loss. She's I always said like she's great from the one tricks, and that's all they play, and like it is hard to play against her in a hard. It's like difficult, but now I don't even think it's gonna be that difficult if she's not gonna be that strong. Even the one tricks will have trouble making her work. So I'm not sure. I don't agree with those nerfs. Janna's been high win rate for a long time, and people have started to notice that, pick her up, play her more, but let's see what they're doing about that. So her W is getting a slight damage nerf, 10% AP ratio and some base. Her E is getting a buff though. So I like this change. I feel like she's not supposed to be a damagey. Poke is great. Poke makes sense, having lane dominance, but she's not supposed to do too much damage. And so I would say she is picked to push people away. She's picked to protect your team. I don't think this is a champ that can be picked every game. Like, personally, you can maybe make some nonsense work with her, like insecting people into your team with your ult and then knocking them up. That is some like crazy nonsense. But I feel like a lot of supports are good for a lot of games. Like, I would say you could pick like Rakan in most games. You could pick like Nautilus in most games. There's a lot of supports. You can pick them in most games, and they will be good. I don't think it's the same case for this champ. I think in some games, she's the best champ you can pick out of all the supports. But in a lot of games, there's so many better options than her. So I feel like she's gotten to a point where people are picking her no matter what, even if you don't need disengage. But yeah, just because of like the W damage and the move speed and the roaming, it's just a little difficult to play against. Good nerfs, good changes. Hopefully it makes her a little bit more fair to play against. Jinx. Jinx is getting hit with an R nerf. It looks like it's just the cooldown is going up a little bit. It's not that big of a deal, guys. I think she'll be amazing still. I think she'll be great. Let's see. Karma. Karma is getting some slight buffs, it seems. So her Q is going to slow by 5% more. Not the empowered version, just the base. And then it looks like her RE, the AoE shield, will be the 100% of the person you're shielding's extra shield will be on the allies nearby them. And it's going to have a tiny bit of a move speed bonus now. So I mentioned this before. Like when she was meta, people will pick this champ RQ, RQ, RQ. Like she should be a champ where you have to make the right choices to play her optimally. And I don't see RE enough. I do think it was powerful, but they're trying to incentivize people to play her more creatively. And they're making it better to make you, I don't know, just to make people like make the better choices, I guess, instead of RQ all the time. Good change. I don't know if she needed the buff, but fine to see it. Kassadin getting a 10% nerf on his E. Kassadin's been popping off recently. I don't really know about that. It's an okay nerf, I guess. Maybe he has been good. I just don't see it too often, so fine to see that small nerf. Malz, his Q is getting a nerf to the mana, or buff to the mana actually. So early game it's going to cost less, and then scale up to being the same late. I think this is what you max second, so it shouldn't be like too terrifyingly bad. Or too terrifyingly. Yeah, okay, my bad. I am so sorry. It shouldn't be too big of a buff, like a noticeable buff early game, but it should be decent. His E is the point and click. AIDS is what most people call it. You put it on the creep and it spreads. This is getting a buff early game as well, but this is what you max first. So I think this is a great buff to his early game. I actually play him ADC every now and then if I'm like just bored, and honestly, I'll just say it. Like sometimes I just want to turn my brain off and do nothing and hope my team carries me. I will pick it. And yeah, this is going to be a great buff for that. Good to see it. Master Yi getting a slight nerf on his true damage, on his on-hit, true damage on his E. I don't know if he was great, if he was OP or anything, but I'm glad to see it. I don't really like playing against him. Olaf. Looks like he is getting another change like this. Like this is the third buff for this exact thing. Bonus damage to monsters. I guess his clear speed is still not up to par with what we would like it to be for him to be played in the jungle, like efficiently. Yeah, and it looks like his R is getting nerfed. The resistance you get. Weird, like it's so strange actually. Yeah, so it looks like I really think this time with this change, like his clear is going to be fast. He will be counter jungling. I hope this actually makes him a jungler because I'd love to try him, but I haven't played him much because I feel like he was still a little bit weak, on the weaker side to be played in the jungle. So yeah, that seems good. Pyke, another broken support champ that is like so frustrating to play against, but I will say he is one of the ones that he takes a bit of finesse. He is one of the harder champs. So let's see what they're doing to him. Looks like his W, the thing where he goes invisible, camouflaged actually. You can see him when he's close. It's getting mana nerf, cooldown nerf. So he's getting nerfed. Glad to see it. Me and my duo, we like might be bias coming from me. She bans blitzcrank, I ban pyke, like every game. Like unless I'm playing jungle, then I'll ban Rengar. But like these are our 2 bans every game. So maybe I'm a little bit happy to see these nerfs. So I don't know. Hopefully all you hook champ players don't hate me for it, but yeah, I think they're good changes. They are very difficult to play against. Let's see. Seraphine is getting a slight buff, 10% AP ratio. I think I mentioned earlier when with all her change, like they did take away a bit. I personally thought a bit too much damage they took away to make her not as good in the other roles, but better to support. But um, I do exactly what I said. The APC version became weaker. Her support version needs a little bit more damage. I think this is a great change. I like to see it. Yeah, let's see. Taliyah. So apparently she was like really good in the jung. I did play against her a couple of times, but maybe maybe it's just the D4 Taliyahs. I don't know what the deal is, but they never like popped off in like 1v9 games too much. So I never thought she needed the nerfs, but let's see. Q mana cost is going up, bonus damage to monsters is going down. Like I guess it's just tiny nerf for the jungle. Should be fine for mid still. I didn't think she needed it, but yeah. Let's see, Twitch. This has been coming for a long time, I feel. He's been like a really good ADC for a long time. And I secretly knew the reason why, kind of, but I don't know. Like, I guess they actually caught on to it. His base HP has always been absurdly high. Like, absurdly high, actually. 682. Like, so he's most of the time Twitch is supposed to be a weaker champ in the early game because of his late game prowess. I think it's a fair trade-off. His late game team fighting is I don't know. This is my opinion, obviously, but I think his late game team fighting is like absolutely unparalleled in terms of like damage, burst, and like versatility compared to all like any ADC in the game. No, I can't think of any ADC in the game that can like straight up just like if you have good enough positioning and like you just have the perfect game sense. You can be invis, come out of invis in the best location possible when your team creates a distraction and absolutely tear apart an entire enemy team with like Runons and his ult. Like there's no ADC that can just absolutely annihilate an entire team like him. And I think that stage shouldn't be something reached by him every game. And it is something that is reached consistently. And they buffed like IE, they buffed Bork, they buffed all of his items, they buffed absolutely everything they can. And he had some crazy early game stats. Like if you went the first HP rune in the bottom tree, the one that gives you 65 flat, and then you start Doran's Blade, you are starting the game with like 850 HP. That is so absurd. Starting the game level 1, and it only goes up from there. It went up 100 from there. Like his early game stats were way too good. They're hitting that hard. 52 HP nerfed. Health growth is going up to like kind of even that out. But let's see. His W is also getting nerfed. The slow. This is just an AP Twitch nerf. I kind of feel like it's not even played as much anymore, but they're just making sure. I guess they're hitting that with a nerf, and then they're hitting his ult based like the ult 80 steroid with a small like 1080 nerf at all ranks. I think he's gonna be brought in line again. He has been very good. Like I feel like when he's picked, you have to pick like one of his counter picks, or like I think personally this has been like a thing for ages. Like I like picking Tristana into him. Because at most stages of the game, if you jump on his head, you will most likely, with the bomb, like him coming out of India's, you jump on his head and do your combo, and then ult him away from your team and stuff. It will one-shot him, and then also, like, protect your teammates and stuff. It's kind of been, like, a good counter pick for him. I don't know if there were even any other great ones, but now I think other champs will have a more fair shot against taking him down early game, keeping him in line, not letting every Twitch get to that late game team fighting stage where they just wipe your whole team. Like, it almost seems unfair sometimes to me. Like if I let an enemy Twitch get to late, I'm just like so terrified. I'm like it's so hard to play the game. As an ADC even if you were ahead of him in lane and he has like 3+ items, it's so hard to be pushing a lane alone. He can just ult you, come out of invis and ult you, like solo take you out just like that. But yeah, this will help against that. As somebody who really enjoys playing him, I don't like seeing it, but it is needed. So let's see. Urgot, I think this is the last of the champion changes. There's been so many changes. This is going to be a long video. 2xer for sure, guys. 2x speed. It will be in the title. Yeah, so let's see. Urgot, his armor is going down a little bit. Looks like he was way too good at dueling top lane, so it's kept it short and sweet. ARAM changes. Not going to read it, actually. I maybe wanted to for some reason. I've been playing a bit more ARAM, but I'm not going to. MSI Clash, guys. This week in May 4th and 5th. Form your teams, guys. If you are like tier 2 or low tier 1, I might play against you. I'm not sure. Would love to. If any of the viewers happen to see me in game or anything, hallucinate XO is my riot ID. Yeah, like say hello, say that you enjoy the videos. I know this is probably never gonna happen, but yeah, that'd be cool. For sure. So yeah, Clash, form your teams, guys. Play with your friends and have a good time. Make sure you guys get the premium tick though. Premium tick is OP. It forces all your friends to play really well too. Like, keeps them in check. Looks like behavioral changes. Just like for trolls, like it'll make it feel better if you have a troll in your game. Bug fixes, not reading. Skins, I would be excited, but I really don't like the skin line personally. I don't know, just something about it. It seems really like uncreative to me. It's just not that cool. To me, at least. I don't really like it. A lot of the champs, like, yeah, a lot of the champs just look the same to me. I just don't really like it. I'm not a fan, but if you guys think these are awesome, then yeah, definitely do a cop. This one might be okay. Wow, Varus is actually kind of ripped. Look at his arms. Holy. Yeah. So, this one looks nice. Yeah, this looks actually kind of nice. Her legs look very nice in this. Wow. Okay then. So, that's going to be the patch 14.9 notes rundown, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. This is, like I mentioned earlier, this is the last patch before the split ends. So good luck to everyone in their games. Hopefully the patch notes video will help you get that LP, help you ban the right champs, know what to watch out for, and yeah, guys, I will catch you guys in another. I think I will actually be doing another video this week, going over a bunch of changes that they are planning for Split 2, like a whole ADC item like overhaul, like a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in that one. Thanks again for watching, and see you guys.